Imagine a woman whose feet were always 6 inches above the ground. Yes, 6 inches, nothing less. Always in heels. Always in heels. No matter where she went, even in her bedroom, she was in heels. This is the tale of Mrs. Coin Coin, the community gossip monger and heels ambassador. Alison was a beautiful dark-skinned woman with a slim, thick figure that made men stare too long and drool. Women hated her. But it wasn't her beauty that announced her arrival. It was her heels. Always heels. Everywhere. Coin, coin, coin. Heels to buy bread. Heels to jog. Heels inside her own apartment. Walking from bedroom to kitchen like the tiles were a runway. If humans breathed oxygen, Alison breathed heels. It wasn't a phase, oh, it was a condition. As a child, while other babies crawled towards toys, Alison crawled towards shoes. At parties, her mother would find her clutching a stranger's stilettos, drooling with devotion. People would laugh and say she liked people easily. Nobody noticed she never once looked up at their faces. By adulthood, the obsession had settled into confidence. Alison believed heels were not for occasions. They were a way of being. They straightened her back, lifted her chin and announced her presence before she even spoke. The children in the estate named her Mrs. Coin Coin. The name stuck. Mrs. Coin Coin, they come, they would shout the moment they heard the sound. Coin, coin, coin. And Alison would smile and slow her steps so the clicking could travel properly. Mrs. Coin Coin loved information. Wherever something was happening, her heels were usually on their way there. One morning, returning from her jogging, yes, jogging with heels, she passed Mama Chike's shop. Mama Chike was talking loudly with his customer, voices raised and flying. They spoke Igbo, sharp and fast. Alison didn't understand the words, but the tension pulled her in immediately. She slowed down. Coin, coin, coin. She brought out her phone, opened her translator and focused on their lips, trying to piece meaning together. She didn't see the open gutter and she fell in. The argument died instantly. Ah! Auntie Coin Coin, you there okay? Mama Chike shouted. Rushing forward as others gathered, Alison stood up with help. Mud on her legs, one heel bent to the side like it had lost faith. She waved them off. I'm fine, she said quickly, then grabbed Mama Chike's wrist. But what were you people arguing about? Mama Chike stared at her. The customer stared at her too. The people watching stared at her. That was the day many people accepted that Mrs. Coin Coin was not built like the rest of them. Another incident followed not long after. Baba Kunle and his new wife Sikirat, formerly his first wife sales girl, were in their room one afternoon, doors closed. But sounds coming from their room were very loud and unnecessary in a compound between walls. Mrs. Coin Coin heard it from her room. Coin, 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 she slowed. So this is how people are living now, she murmured. Adjusting her wig, as she approached the window, the sounds became clearer. Laughter, whispers, movements that needed no translation. Alison leaned in and pressed her ear lightly against the mosquito net. Ah, she said softly, at this his age? That was when Ifeoma decided it was time. Ifeoma, the single mother in the compound, was outside washing plates. She disliked Alison thoroughly. The heels irritated her. The confidence irritated her. The fact that Alison always knew when things were happening irritated her the most. Then she heard it. Coin, coin, coin. Ifeoma didn't look back. She simply lifted the bucket and poured it. Splash! Dirty water soaked Alison from head to hem. My God, Jesus! Alison screamed. The window flew open. Sikira gasped. Neighbors appeared. Children ran out laughing. Ifeoma turned calmly. Ah, sorry, oh, she said. I didn't see anybody there. Alison stood frozen. Water dripping, mascara, threatening disaster. You didn't see me? She asked. With this my ears? Ifeoma shrugged, and the sound stopped. Laughter spread through the compound. Mrs. Coin Coin walked away soaked, her dignity heavy, her heels squeaking instead of clicking. Coin, 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 but subdued. At the beach, Allison still refused to learn. The afternoon was bright and warm. Allison sat on a rented chair, oversized hat in place, legs crossed neatly in her heels, as though the beach itself had been misinformed about dress code. People passed in slippers and bare feet. Allison stayed seated, enjoying the sun and the attention. Then she noticed them. A young man and woman stood not too far away, laughing closely. The man's posture, his beard, the familiar way he adjusted his glasses, made her sit up. She frowned. That looks like... No! Her chest tightened. Was that not our church married choir master? And was that not the new choir member who always found excuses to stand beside him? Allison reached for her phone. This one, she whispered, will not escape. She stood up, her eyes fixed on her screen. Adjusting her camera, zooming carefully. Coin, 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 one step forward. The next sunk. Her heels twisted deep into the sand and her ankle followed. She fell hard, the scream leaving her before the pain fully arrived. The phone flew from her hand. People rushed over. Madam, are you okay? Ah, her leg. The pain was sharp and overwhelming. But through it all, Allison reached for her phone. She picked it up and stared. Nothing. No recording, no proof. The video had never even started. That realization hurt almost as much as her ankle. As she lay there, one heel abandoned beside her, Allison stared at the sky and let out a long breath. For the first time, the beach did not hear coin, coin, coin. Only the waves.